Well, look at that. It took us long enough, but the programmer got on it pretty quick when he had freed up time, and we have the QLINE indicator. So I just got done running through it. All looks good. Looks like it's doing everything I wanted after some initial verifications. If anything, it might need slight cosmetic stuff, but the core functionality and algorithmic sequencing of the QLINE bull and bear flags looks all to be good to go. So basically this is an over-under level or over-under type indicator comparing the Q trend indicator to the Q bands that are all part of what we typically call the Q zone indicator. We've taken the bands and the trend indicator and combined them into one as a specific trade setup that now has output for alerts and can be used for automation, and it's called the QLINE indicator. So let's take a quick peek at the QLINE indicator, what kind of goodies you get. So you can set the responsiveness of the bands. We can set the deviation of the bands and the thickness of the upper and lower band width. It's all functional. You can set the colors, the Q trend, the reactivity of the actual trend indicator. We've always given you the ability to adjust that. That remains. In style, you can go change the colors of the trend indicator, both the cloud and the border. The middle band coloring you can adjust. The candle coloring for all candle activity outside of the bands. I use colored candles outside of the bands. Anything inside the bands, I leave those to as a inert or neutral color, but you can do whatever you want. You can make all of your candles be colored inert if you wanted, or something that's non-directional from a color standpoint. Just have them inert. And then here it is, the bull and bear signal for the actual flips that meet the exact criteria of the QLINE trade setup. So you don't have to think about or guess. You can have those tied to audible alerts and automation. And then plots background is the fill-in, so where you can turn off so you don't even see the trend indicator if you don't want to see it. I always turn off labels and values. I don't like seeing all that gobbledygook on the side of my chart up here, but it is done, guys. I'm now taking this, sending this over to Mike. Mike, the owner of QuantVue, will now incorporate this into the QZone system tools. This will be another indicator you get as a subscriber or anybody that was a prior one-time pay. He will activate it under private invite-only scripts and then start distributing it out to our active list of users one by one, so that Sunday going into Monday, when the markets very likely may gap down on the current situation with Prigozhin having his squabbles over how to run the Ukraine operation with upper Russian leadership. We'll see what happens if we get a gap down or not on indices, and probably gap up on oil maybe. So we'll see, but there you go. QLINE indicator is ready. I'm passing it on right now to Mike. Don't bombard him with emails. Leave him alone. Let him. It is the weekend. We'll get it done over the weekend, so you guys can play around with it well before the markets open up. So Mike has a process. He will take this code. He will put it under the QuantVue umbrella, make it a private invite-only script, and then go one by one on a pretty long list now and start activating trader by trader of all those that were part of ZBox, one-time payer subscription, and everybody that was a newer QZone subscription person. So there you have it. We got it done. Next on deck is Moneyball Dual Indicator. I think I should have that in everybody's hands by Thursday. So that one's, we're working with some graphics options within the limitations of TradingView, but I think we'll pull it off and have it look pretty close to the way I wanted. So there we go, guys. QLINE, you can now use it as audible alerts and tie it to automation in the TradingView platform. And as you can see, what is the criteria again? For a bear candle, we have to have a down closing candle below the lower part of the lower bands and some portion of the Q trend indicator plotted and closed below the bottom portion of the bottom band. So that's perfect right there. For a long signal, you have to have an up closing candle and some portion of the Q trend at that bar close closed above the uppermost portion of the bands. And remember, you can adjust the responsiveness of the bands and the width. So your signals then will adjust accordingly to any changes made. And now that we have this, now I can get into some optimization work and find out, hey, what is the actual best settings on the NASDAQ on this time frame, on ES, on gold, oil, and so on. So anyhow, we got it done, and we'll be getting this out, working on it today and tomorrow. There you guys have it. QLINE indicator is done. And this great update, and look for the Moneyball dual indicator out to the group probably by Thursday. If you have any questions, let us know. Have a great weekend, and we will definitely have some fireworks when the market reopens Sunday night. Futures reopen at 5 p.m. Central Time, and FX opens at 4 p.m. Central Time. There's going to be moves if this situation plays out. Okay, there you have it. Have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.